بالقرآن اهتديت في رحبه تحلو الحياة شوقا إلى المولى أتيت أسلمت روحي للإله.
So my name is RahimJean. I was born here in London, in fact only a few hundred meters from here. I've always lived in London all my life. My father came here from India in the 1940s, but his family were originally from Hijaz area of Arabia. But my mother's family are Irish. So my mother and father, they met here in London. My mother was Irish Catholic. So we were brought up in a very liberal family, not really following one faith or the other faith. In fact, following no faith. I went to work for one of the most famous record companies in the world, which was Motown Records. And at Motown Records, that was when I really started to mix with different people. So if I was to think about some of the people that I met, some of the people that I worked with Stevie Wonder. And Stevie Wonder is one of the biggest recording artists in the world. I was on the team that organized Stevie Wonder's 40th birthday party and the launch of his Jungle Fever album. And I worked on soundtracks to films. I worked on the soundtrack to Terminator 2. I worked on, in fact, many of the singles that I worked on went diamond, platinum. They had all those discs. So we used to get awarded all those discs. Things started to change. My career started to have some problems. My relationships started to have some problems. But my heart started to feel different. When things started to go wrong in the music business, and they didn't go wrong from a dunya point of view. From a dunya point of view, they were very good. But inside my heart, I was feeling more and more depressed, more and more empty. And it got to the stage one day when I really thought I was going crazy. I was at my house, I thought I was going mad. And I remember thinking about God and making a deal. And there were many, many sins in my life at that time. And I remember saying to God, if you help me in this situation that I'm in now, I will give up all my sins for 3 weeks. This was the deal I made with God. And on that day is when I said, and I will open the Quran and I will read it. And when I opened the Quran and I read it on that day, like a miracle, the verse I read in English, after every difficulty comes ease. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. And for me, it's like a miracle, you know? Because I was very desperate at that time, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn, and I thought I was going crazy. And the last thing I wanted was was religion. I didn't want to be religious, I wanted the dunya. It was as if this verse was just written for me, no one else. That I didn't even know Allah, God, whatever, but that this book somehow knew exactly what I needed at that point and at that time. So it was like a miracle.